Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you guys coming back and watching these videos and liking them. Also, the ones who recently subscribed as well. It means a lot and I really do appreciate it. With that being said, let me ask you guys this. How many of you guys think that car prices can't stay high forever? That they have to collapse and go down back to pre-pandemic levels?
Breaking the car market crash that everybody's been looking for.
And I'm confident in saying that we are heading toward a car market crash here in 2025. It truly is going to be the great reset of the car market as we know it.
I think right now for a lot of these car dealerships and a lot of these manufacturers, we're going to begin a race to the bottom. Starting right now, we're going to see a much different car market than we have experienced in the last few years.
I get it. You watch other channels. With automakers struggling, inventories rising, all the news with Stellantis, and so many channels predicting a market crash, it's easy to believe prices will come down soon. And I understand YouTube is full of videos claiming the car market is about to collapse. I have nothing against these YouTubers. They just state their prediction, and I state mine. Who's going to be right? We don't know. I hope they are right so I can get a good deal on a used car. But ultimately, I can't see the future. I can only make a prediction based off of what I see. And my prediction is that they're wrong, and car prices will stay at current levels or go higher. So then you might ask, if they are wrong, what about all the issues they mention? The high day supply, the overflowing inventory on lots, the struggling automakers, the struggling dealers, the struggling consumers, because all these factors are real. But here's the thing, while those factors have an impact, I don't think they'll bring prices down. In fact, I'm here to explain why I believe car prices are going to stay high for the foreseeable future. I'm going to start with the single biggest factor in this equation, that is the used car market.
Just when the used car market was getting revved up, there are now heightened concerns that another vehicle inventory slowdown could be just around the corner. And that could have an impact on how much you pay for a used car.
If you've tried buying a used car recently, you've probably noticed they're expensive, and there aren't many of them. Why? Well, the shortage dates to the COVID-19 pandemic. During the pandemic, automakers cut production significantly. That means fewer cars were made, fewer were sold, and now, years later, fewer are hitting the used car market. This shortage isn't going away anytime soon because those missing cars can't be magically replaced, and this is an inflationary anchor to the car market. Unless this supply imbalance is rectified, automakers will keep prices high. But there's another issue, negative equity. Many people who bought cars during the pandemic financed them at high prices. Now, they owe more on their loans than their cars are worth, so they can't sell or trade them in. Banks aren't willing to roll that negative equity into new loans, and most buyers don't have the cash to make up the difference. These cars are effectively stuck, and while buyers struggle, dealers are cashing in. Normally, dealerships make around 10% to 20% profit on used cars, but right now, they're making closer to 30%. Why? Because demand is high, supply is low, and they can charge more. These profits help offset their floor plan interest costs. A floor plan is basically a loan that dealers use to buy their inventory. Higher profits mean dealers can cover these costs and then some. It also encourages them to buy cars from private sellers, mark them up, and resell them at retail prices. The cycle continues. Now, let's talk about automakers. During the pandemic, they learned a new strategy. Make more money by selling fewer cars at higher prices. It's a strategy shift that's helped line up their pockets while we, the consumers, got screwed. You see, before COVID, automakers focused on volume. They'd produce as many cars as possible and rely on competitive pricing to drive sales. But when production slowed due to shortages, they increased prices because there were shortages everywhere. Plus, with parts and chip shortages, they focused production on more expensive, higher margin, higher trim vehicles. And guess what? They liked the results. Now, since that production is back to pre-COVID levels, you'd think prices would drop, but instead, many automakers decided to cut production again to maintain high prices. They'd rather have a limited supply of expensive cars than an oversupply of cheaper ones. Some automakers have lowered prices slightly, but most are sticking to their guns. They're trying to recreate pandemic-level inventory conditions to keep prices sky high. And so far, unfortunately for us, it's working. But here's the thing, high prices can't survive without buyers, and unfortunately, there are enough desperate buyers to keep this market going. If you're someone who needs a car but doesn't have cash on hand, your options are limited. Cheap used cars aren't available, so you're stuck choosing between an overpriced used car with high interest rates or a really overpriced new car with slightly better rates. Either way, you're paying through the nose. These buyers are fueling an awful cycle. Their willingness or desperation to pay these prices ensures that dealerships and automakers have no incentive to lower them. So, what can you do? If you're in the market for a car and it's not absolutely urgent, wait. Hold off as long as you can. The more people resist overpaying, the more pressure there will be on the market to correct itself. Guys, you have to understand, it's not about the prices, it's about the artificial nature of them. Automakers are deliberately preventing the market from stabilizing because they want to maintain higher prices. They know the current prices don't reflect the condition of the market. The current prices reflect a pandemic-era market, but they don't care because that is what they want. They know that a lot of dealers will go bankrupt with these prices. They know a lot of automakers will struggle and have to cut down on workers and production. They don't care. They will do anything and everything to maintain the status quo. I genuinely do wish I'm wrong, but I don't see lower prices anytime soon. Prices will remain high and are likely to stay that way due to used car shortages, automakers cutting production, and desperate buyers propping up the market. It's just a tough situation. But you gotta accept the reality we are in. You can watch car market collapse videos every day till your face is blue, but automakers don't care. They'll continue to maintain these prices. So if you don't need a car right now, don't let the market bully you into overpaying. Use the time you're driving your current vehicle to save cash. There will be a few deals out there, but you gotta do your research to find them. Anyways, thanks for watching and see you guys in the next video.